Okay, welcome to the Art of Magnetic Marketing, how to skyrocket your business with authentic lead generation. My name is Amanda and I shall be your host. In this video, we're going to cover 7 magnetic marketing principles that you can use to generate leads for your business in an aligned and authentic way. So I got my master's degree in 2017 in positive coaching psychology because coaching was the only thing that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. But when I graduated, I remember my grandma asking me, so like, how are you actually going to turn that into a business, Amanda? And I was like, Grandma, that's the rudest thing I've ever heard. I had no idea. I really had no clue how to go about attracting clients, doing social media at that point. And so I ended up doing marketing for other businesses, was a marketing director for a number of years. Then I became the sales manager for the state of North Carolina and a B2B company. And then I ended up finding a coach on TikTok Live who was showing the whole Skool platform and how it worked. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's so simple. And as a coach and someone who's been on all the different platforms like Thrivecart, Kajabi, all of the things, Skool just seemed so simple to me. And I loved the fact that it could kind of function as your email list. It was like a living, breathing lead magnet. So I joined Skool, started doing really well on there, and most recently was accepted among like 6,000 people applied to be in. Alex Hormozy announced he was doing a private cohort for 100 people that was going to be 100 days. And you were going to get private coaching from Alex Hormozy and Kirby. And so I applied, I did a little short Loom video, and then I kind of forgot about it and ended up getting in. So I'm in the Skool 100 right now. Last year I got certified in NLP, EFT, mindset, hypnotherapy, life and success coaching. I've got a little Aussie doodle, and I'm really into tennis lately. And this is just a little picture of me. That's when I graduated, and then that's my dad holding me in front of my mom's chiropractic school. And she's been a holistic chiropractor for 30 years. So that's how I kind of ended up in the coaching and healing, holistic, spiritual space. I was also raised Buddhist. So I heard from my boss at the marketing director job. He said, we hired you because we think you're the perfect mix of business and creative. And so I see myself as like woo-woo that works. So that's why my mission is to help coaches and healers who are spiritual and really, really good at the woo. I want to help you turn that into an actual abundant business where you're consistently attracting and converting the clients that you really want to work with some super simple marketing strategies and systems. Okay, enough about me. So have you ever looked for a coach, someone to help you with your marketing or your business, and then it's like all you see is these coaches just like flashing their Stripe balances and their Rolexes and, you know, just seemingly not aligned? Or maybe you've worked with a coach before who just wasn't aligned with your values and they just didn't understand what it is that you really do and the vision that you have for your business, because I was there too. There's so many coaches out there now, and there's all these marketing gurus who are like flashing this magic bullet, like, oh, if you just buy this webinar thing or these funnel, like you need this funnel and that's what you need in order to grow your business. And I was really overwhelmed by all of it, to be honest. Like, I love systems. I've got a lot of Aquarius in my chart. I love systems and tech, but I was like, there's got to be an easier way to attract the kind of people that I want to work with and, you know, nurture them into becoming clients. And I didn't want a really high-tech thing. I didn't want to work with a coach who just seemed to, I don't know, trying to impress people with their Stripe balances or their number of followers. And, like, those things just really aren't important to me. So if you've been in that boat, then I totally understand. I got my coaching business here on Skool to 10K months within a couple of months and have grown it. It's just continued to grow ever since. And so that's what I really kind of want to help you with here today. So let's just talk a little bit about advertisement. So advertisement means, in its most basic sense, to make a quality or fact known. As a healer, as a coach, the more people who know about you, the more sales you're going to make. It's just that simple. Okay? there's so many amazing healers and coaches that I see that are so talented at what they do. They're so talented, and it's almost hard to put into words the magic that they actually offer, and yet nobody knows how great you are until they're inside of your program. Until they buy into your offer, all they know is what's outward facing. They only see your messaging, your communication, your tone, and that's all that they have to go on in order to make that decision. So it's my mission to help you create those simple systems to make yourselves known in a way that does feel authentic, but with the understanding that there are just certain marketing principles and business principles that apply across the board, and it doesn't have to be complicated. So if people don't know about you, how could they possibly buy? And I see this so much. People are like, well, I just want to be a coach. I want to be a healer. And you've been working with clients and you provide amazing results, but you think that people are just going to come in through the doors and bang down your door to want to work with you. And the fact is, that's just not the case, because the market is so saturated. There are so many people out there trying to sell us things all the time. So why should someone buy it from you? The more people who know about your offers, the more sales you're going to make. The more sales you make, the more impact and cash you have to fuel your mission. The reason why 82% of all businesses fail in the first 5 years is due to lack of capital. And the only thing that creates capital is sales. Sales is created based on perceived value. People don't buy when the value and the cost are the same. People buy when the perceived value is higher than the investment. So it's not enough to just like sell them on the actual cost of the program. It's like, this is everything you're getting, and here's why it is so valuable. This is freaking life-changing, and using words that they would use to describe their own problems. There's only 2 ways to make your services known, okay? You can either use time or money. And in order to grow your business, I call this you need the right strategy. You need to do it the right number of times. I think I have this here. Yeah, I do. I'll go there in a second. Is using time or money. So investing your time doing DMs, outreach, content, or cash you can use to do ads. Those are the only 2 ways to make what it is you do known to other people. Outreach, content, ads, yeah. Smart business owners master both. And when you're just starting out, you start with the one that you have more of. So if you have more money than time, then you spend money to save yourself time. Growing a business, being an entrepreneur is risky. There's so much that goes into it. And 9 out of 10 fail because it's like you just don't know what you don't know. You're investing in coaches, you're investing in mentors, you're investing in your business. But the biggest cost of being an entrepreneur is the ignorance tax. Like, if you're making $5,000 a month and you want to make $50,000 a month, then you not knowing or having the beliefs and skills that $50,000 a month person has is literally costing you $45,000 every single month in taxes and fees, because you don't have those belief systems or that skill set yet. So when you're just starting out, you invest in coaching, you invest in ads, you invest in programs, you invest in learning more things about your business. But if you don't have the money to invest, then you spend time. And you can spend time creating content. You can spend time doing outreach, reaching out to people, commenting, engaging in other communities. There's so many ways to go about it. But in order for this to be successful, we need to have the right strategy. We need to do it the right number of times. And we need to have the right skill. If you have the right strategy and you're doing it a right number of times, but you don't have the skill, it's not going to work, or it's going to take a really long time. If you're doing a lot of something and you have the skill, but you're working on the wrong strategy, it's not going to work. If you have the skill and the strategy, but you're just not doing it enough, you're not doing enough of it, say you're doing 3 outreaches a day versus 50 or 100, or doing 1 post a week versus 1 every day, it's not going to work. We need all three in order to be successful. So the first magnetic marketing principle is there is a vast difference, a world of difference between having a good offer and a good offer with a magnetic marketing message and positioning to stand out in a crowded market. Positioning is what makes you different. How is what you have to offer different than what other people who are doing similar things do? Why should somebody choose you? If what you have looks just like everybody else, there's no compelling reason to want to do business with you. And this is what I see a lot of when it comes to coaches and healers, is like very good at what they do. Very good at what they do. And my clients, for sure. But when it comes to actually putting it into words and translating it into a message that the market can see, hear, and understand, which requires specificity, skill, and understanding the way your target clients think. Like, because you've been in your thing for so long, it's like you've been so immersed. It's like me. Like, you're so immersed in what you do that it's like you're on chapter 10. But if in your content and in your messaging, you're only talking to people at chapter 10, you're not going to reach the people who are at chapter 1 that you could really help. You have to be able to zoom out and see it from an outside perspective so that you can explain things in a way that they can actually hear. And a lot of that, like I just said, it's specificity, it's positioning, it's your messaging, it's your tone, it's your artistry, almost. So the second magnetic marketing principle is that a lot of people have the wrong mindset when it comes to lead generation. When I say sales, what do you think? Is it like icky, pushy, gross, scary? If you go about lead generation with that mindset in your business, you're always going to play small. And if you are really about what you say you're about, like you believe in your mission, you believe in the impact that you have on your clients' lives, you believe in the results that you offer, but you're unwilling to put yourself out there in the marketplace and reach out to people, make offers, schedule calls, then it's like you're valuing your own comfort because of the fear of what other people might think of you over your mission. The priorities are mixed up. If it's really that important to you, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to be seen as, seen as being salesy, or like I know that you're here, you're not a pushy person. You have to go about it from the mindset of service. When you go into a sales conversation or a marketing message from the purpose of taking, it's what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? People can feel that. Instead, coming to it from a place of service. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. How can I provide value? Lead with value. So I want us to do, like, your business is about putting other people in the center. Businesses exist to solve problems for other people. So if you want to solve problems for other people, you need to put them in the center instead of yourself. I want to give you a little test here if you're game. So pretend like nobody knows you. And what if right now there were a certain number of people out there just waiting to be impacted by your service who just don't know you? I say this all the time. There are already people out there who want and need and are absolutely willing to pay for what you have to offer if only they knew about you. The truth is 99.999% of people on this planet don't know you and probably will never know you. But there is still that percentage of people who are just waiting for you to come into their worldview. So I'd like you to pretend that nobody knows you, and I'm going to give you a few quick questions. So your Instagram profile is basically, it's like your business card. And they just came out with that new feature where you can send it to people. It's kind of cool. I'd like you to go to like a coffee shop, a yoga studio, somewhere where people don't know you, and hand them your phone or show them your Instagram profile. And these are the questions. After 60 seconds, that's the most you're going to get. It's really probably closer to 20. Will they know what specific problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? How do you solve it? And what's the next step? If someone can't look at your Instagram profile and immediately tell exactly who you work with, how you help them, and what their next step is, people are going to just go on to the next one. They're so distracted. People are so distracted. You've got to be abundantly clear and simple in your messaging and what you do. And the thing I hear so much is like, but I could help everybody. Okay, like with that mindset, we're not going to help anybody. And I was guilty of this too. When I first started, I thought my niche was I'm going to help women find their passion, purpose, and prosperity. Because I felt like if I pick something, if I niche down, then what about all these other people that I could help? And the truth is nobody is going to hear your message if you're trying to reach to everybody. They're just not, they can't hear it. The algorithms are so good now. If your shit is generic and basic and vanilla, people are just going to keep going. If you're in the market for an amazing photographer for your wedding and you've got this certain aesthetic that you want to stick by, are you going to go with the photographer who specializes in that exact type of photography, or the jack of all trades who does like weddings and corporate and portraits and nature and outdoors? Like, people want and are willing to pay for specificity. If they feel like your stuff is exactly for them, that's when people buy. So pretending like no one knows you, you give them your Instagram or your website if you want, and can they answer what specific problem do you help people with? What is the next step? And who do you think I'm not for? Because if you're trying to attract everybody, if you're not repelling anybody with your message, you're not attracting anybody either. That's just the way it works. Magnetic marketing is about specificity. It's about being clear about our unique value proposition, what you have to offer, how you help them, and the person that you actually help. And the second thing is, when I click on your Instagram profile and we go to your little link in bio, I'm asking like, what's the next step? I'm not talking about having 15 links in your bio. That's confusing and overwhelming, and people don't know what to do with it. A confused buyer does not buy. A confused mind does not buy. People buy simplicity, clarity, and even if you can help everybody, ask yourself, who is going to be the most impacted? Who would this benefit the most? What type of person would my work benefit the most? That's your person. That's your person. And remember that you're speaking, you've gone down the wormhole of what it is you do. You have to speak to people who are at chapter 1. Who are just getting started. If you've been in somatic healing for 10 years, you've been in it for a long time. So if you're only talking to people who know, like, who've been in it for the same amount of time, those aren't really your people. The people you can help are behind you. They're a couple steps behind you. We have to speak to them in their language so that they can hear us. So pretend that nobody knows about you or your work. So every time we make a video, a post, like, just pretend like nobody knows you. When you go into your content from a place of like, oh, that they've been known me, they see me, like, we need to be abundantly clear. And one of the things I like to do with my clients is this brand story thing, where you create a 7-part brand story, which really wraps everything that we're covering here today into a nice little story. And they've done studies on this, that brands and businesses who try to focus on too many things, like too many benefits, too many features, too many components, people can't hear it. Like, if you can just isolate that one thing that you're really good at, the most beneficial piece, people will buy for that, and then they get all the other benefits. But they need the clarity. They need simplicity. So the fourth principle is the triple S. So we're solving, if you're trying to speak to everybody, you're not speaking to anybody. So we need to be talking to a specific person who has a specific problem, and we're helping them with our specific process. Specificity rules the day. So there are some examples of businesses and brands who only use one or maybe two of these, like Wim Hof, for example, but he also like hiked the Himalayas and used breath work to keep himself warm. So that's like kind of some crazy social proof there. But there are cases when you can just get away with a couple. Another one would be, what was I just thinking of? I only wrap Porsche GTX 59s or whatever. Like, you only do a very specific rare type of vehicle, then you don't need these other things. But most healers and coaches are not doing this. They're not doing this. People should be able to also tell who your work is not for. And if you believe you don't have a specific process, you just need to look a little deeper. When I say specific process, I'm talking about some kind of like unique mechanism or thing that you do, or your perspective, or the way that you bring people from A to B. There is a unique set of characteristics and components of the way that you help people. And if you can look a little bit deeper at what it is you do, you'll find it. That's why I have the fire formula inside the attraction formula. Your process is really like, what do you do? How do you help them in a way that makes it faster, easier, more effective, more fun? That's what they're really paying for. That's what they're really paying for. So we're speaking to these people in our content. This is magnetic marketing. The way that you beat the algorithm and actually get visible, this is what we were just talking about, is talking to your people where they are. You have to meet your audience where they are. Just because you love TikTok, that's great. But is your audience on TikTok? And also, if we build our entire business on one platform, anything can happen. The algorithm could change. Your account could get shut down. TikTok could get shut down. We need an omni-channel marketing strategy so that studies have shown people it takes an average of 7 hours with your content to decide whether or not they're comfortable making a purchase decision. And it's over three different locations. So if like they see you on TikTok and Instagram and Skool, like the way I do, it just builds so much more trust. So much more trust. The best platform for conversion, this is just a little insight, is YouTube, in my opinion. It's not even my opinion, it's proof, it's researched. Having a well thought out content strategy, like what's your cadence? What type of posts are you using? Are you doing carousels, stories, feed posts, reels, TikToks, going live? Are you using SEO and hashtags appropriately in your content so that it can be found by the people that it's meant for? And always having an intention behind what you do. We're not posting for the sake of posting. And content is not the only way to grow your business and generate leads, but it's the cheapest in terms of cost because you can do it for free and reach the most people, but only when it's done correctly. Like, we need some kind of simple marketing funnel in place when we go to create content on social media platforms so that once we start like picking up speed, we've already got a way to attract, convert, and deliver to our target people. Every post should have a purpose. There should be a purpose behind every post, an intention. It's not just posting random content that doesn't relate to your audience, doesn't relate to your niche. That's one thing I see a lot of, and it's not helpful. That and the 25 different links in the link in bio. Like, it's not cute. It's not cute. The fifth principle of magnetic marketing is being a scientist, a psychologist, and an artist all at once. What I mean by this is a lot of creatives and spiritual healer types are very sensitive and creative, and that's wonderful. We love that. That's the artistry. But how are you using psychology in your marketing and in your messaging and in your sales process to help and nurture the people that you're here to help? And then being a scientist refers to looking at the data. What are your analytics? Like, what are you using to track the leads that come into your business? Are you following up with them? Instead of like skipping through ads, this is something that I just like to do. Instead of skipping through them, look at the ad. See what the hook is. How do they open their caption? What's in the background? How are they presenting the information? What is their tone of voice? And I'm going to give you a few tools here in just a second that are going to help you with this. These are kind of like hacks. And if you're saying, but Amanda, I'm not all of those things. I just want to be myself. Well, do you want to be yourself, or do you want to be a successful, abundant, spiritual entrepreneur? Because money should be in the hands of the people who are going to do good with it. And that's what we're here to do. Without cash, your business fails. And these things are just necessary components of being a successful business owner these days. Like, we're in this market, we're in this time and age where it's easier than ever to build a 6-7 figure business from your laptop with like a Zoom account in Skool, which is what I use. But in order to do that, there's just a cost of doing business. There's a cost of cutting through the noise on social media. It's not as simple as just posting. We have to engage. We have to nurture. We have to convert. How good are you at capturing people's attention, getting them onto calls, and turning them into clients? And then delivering amazing value for those clients once they're inside your program. So this is a little hack I wanted to show you. So you can actually go to this link. I'll put it in the description below, but it's just the Facebook ads library. And you could search for, let's say all ads. And we're going to say somatic healing maybe. Let's check it out. And what you want to do is find the ones that have been on here the longest. Because chances are people are not going to leave an ad up and running for months and years at a time unless it's making money, right? So this is what I mean by being a scientist. You can go in here and you can look for ads in your niche and see, like, what are they doing? How are they capturing people's attention? What's the call to action? What's the copy? What's the visual? What's the creative? And I like to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Let's see when this one came out. 2021, and it's still running. Okay, there's no way that this is still running for the past 3 years if it's not making money. What if you could incorporate this into your own content creation, into your own ads? You know? There we go. So the second thing is we have to solve when you solve the right problem, you get the right skills. And inside the Skool 100 thing, what they have said is if you are under $50,000 a month, your biggest bottleneck is traffic. What I see so many entrepreneurs do is they're solving the wrong problem. People will go into start doing paid ads and complex marketing funnels and complex automations and getting sales teams and appointment setters and these expensive webinar setups and funnels and marketing systems, but like they didn't master the right skills at the when they started, so that none of these other things work unless you have the foundation underneath it. And if you're under 50K a month, that means your biggest bottleneck is traffic. If you're trying to solve a problem that is not traffic, like meaning getting more eyeballs on your offers, more opportunities to sell. Like if you're trying to solve something that's not intended for that, then you have more chance of breaking it than you do of actually making it better. And so what I'm talking about is like messing around with your website, scrolling on Instagram, setting up these funnels, spending money on ads. If you didn't learn how to actually do outreach, get people to book calls, convert those calls into sales, and you start doing ads, it's just going to expose the leaks in your funnel that were already there. And what I see a lot of these marketing gurus, everybody's just looking for this magic bullet. There is no magic bullet to lead generation. I'm going to share with you a couple strategies that we can use to generate leads in an authentic, aligned way. And it's not just content. If you're only relying on organic content to grow your business, I know the problem is that likes, follows, shares do not equate to sales. You don't know how many influencers I know and I've spoken to who have 100, 300, 500,000 followers, and they're barely making a couple $1,000s a month. Followers have nothing to do with your actual sales. Nothing. And if you think you're going to hire somebody to do ads for you or set up your website or start doing these expensive webinars, but you never learned how to do them at the start, then how are you going to hire the right person? How are you going to know whether or not they're doing a good job? How are you going to train them to do a good job? We have to start with the basics. These are the only ways to get more people to know about your business, to generate leads. A lead is defined as a person who that you can contact who has shown some interest in your business. So this could be people who've gone to your website, signed up for your email list, they follow you on social media, you can find them on social media. Those are all leads, people that you can make offers to. The only way to do this is you can do one-to-one outreach to people who know you, so that would be warm outreach. You could do reaching out to people who don't know you, which would be cold outreach. You can do one-to-many outreach to people who know you. That would be content. Or you can do one-to-many to people who don't know you. That would be ads. Those are the only ways to generate leads for your business. And if you're only relying on one of these ways, you are the bottleneck in your business. So those are the only 4 ways to generate leads. And relying just on content to grow your business organically, the issue is it just takes a really long time. Like, one of the things I've learned just growing my school and growing my communities is like, content is great for long-term growth and sustainability, but if you really want to grow fast and build momentum, you will leverage as many of these as you can. And ideally, we want to learn how to do content, warm outreach, and cold outreach and exhaust those before starting to do paid ads. And I'm also going to include a DM script that you can use when you're reaching out to these leads, because the fastest way to grow your business, and if you're trying to grow on Skool, is leveraging all 3. So joining other groups and communities where there are people who have, like, where your ideal audience hangs out, engaging with them, commenting on their posts, DMing them. On Instagram, like, you can grow a 6-7 figure business just from Instagram, just DMing people on Instagram. That's what I've done. I have content too, because if you DM people, then they're going to go check out your profile. Is it clear what you do from your bio? Do you have a simple marketing strategy in place that will take them from social media into your world? So if we're not, we have to get good at DMing people, setting sales calls, converting from a sales call before we want to start spending money on paid ads, because paid ads are just going to expose the leaks in your funnel that were already there. All of these things here, the paid ads, the funnels, the automations, they're all amazing tools, but they will just amplify what's already going on in your business. They are not a fix, and they are not the foundation of a magnetic marketing strategy at the beginning. So if we're just getting started with growing the business, building our brand, building our community, we want to start with the low-hanging fruit. Your warm audience is the best low-hanging fruit. People who already know you. And guess what? If they don't have to be your ideal audience for you to reach out to them. What you say is like, who do you know that would benefit from making an extra $10K a month using the power of communities without having to only rely on content? Like, give them a pitch of what you do. Like, you can email the people on your email list, your phone contacts, your friends, groups you're in, past clients, current clients, followers on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on X, on LinkedIn. Like, these are all people that you have to reach out to right here, right now. And warm outreach is the fastest way to grow your business. But the way you go about it is not in a sketchy, icky, salesy way. The way you go about it is authentically. Like, just talk to them like a person. You open the conversation. If it's somebody you know, like, let's say they're a coach. You're like, hey, girl, I just saw you just had a baby and you're growing your business. Like, how is that going? And I have a script I'm going to give you, but that's just an example. And then when they respond, just act like a human. You can use the ACA framework, acknowledge, compliment, and then ask another question that guides them in the direction of what you have to offer. And then having them add up their audience assets. So if they're not your ideal client, just ask them, who do they know? It's such a low pressure way to get referrals. What's the worst that can happen? They're going to be like, I don't know anybody. And you're going to be like, okay. And then go on to the next person. What's the best that could happen? They'll give you like 2, 3, 4 referrals of your ideal clients. Just because they're not your audience doesn't mean that they don't know people who could benefit from your service. And the way that you pitch that is providing a ton of value. You're like, who do you know that would benefit from a free call to give them the exact roadmap or strategy to take them from A to B and avoid XYZ? People are gonna be like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Sign me up. How can I do that? I want to do that. Or who do you know that's been interested in expanding beyond one-to-one with a community? Who do you know that's struggling to attract clients on social media and they're looking for ways to grow their business without only relying on content? You'd be like, oh, maybe that's me, you know? So we want to, like I said, master the skill of converting people to calls before spending a single dollar on ads. If you go into spending a bunch of money on ads and using that Facebook research tool I just showed you, and you don't have the skills to actually have a conversation and get them onto a call and then convert that call into a sale, you're just throwing the money out the window. You're just throwing it out the window. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Okay. If you're a spiritual healer or coach, maybe you've got some clients and you think that you are beyond leveraging all of the ways to generate leads for your business, you are wrong. You're just wrong. People are not going to intuit through the powers of telepathy or osmosis that you can help them. They're just not. If you think you're going to hire somebody to do ads for you or set appointments for you or DM people for you and you don't know how to do it, how are you going to know what to look for when you're hiring, how to train them, why they are or are not getting results? These are the principles to magnetic marketing that apply no matter what your niche is, no matter where you are in your business. Like, these are the things that have to be in place before we can start scaling beyond. And this is authentic marketing, right? Like, we're not pressuring people to buy. What if you just came to it from a mindset of service? I am just here to provide value. The easiest way to provide value, especially in the DMs, if you're trying to get somebody on a call, is just like, you're going to give them a free call to help them reach their goals. Like, a lot of people are going to be like, that's pretty cool. I think I want that. So this is an attraction-based magnetic marketing strategy that allows us to provide value and get leads in a non-sleazy, icky, pushy way. Because the more people who know about your work, the more magic unfolds in your world. If you want consistent, predictable revenue that grows every single month, month after month, this is the way to do it. Instead of doing one outreach a day or 2 outreaches, like, what if you did 50? What if you did 50 to people you know and 50 to people you didn't know? And made a post every single day on multiple platforms. You could use Skool, Instagram, TikTok. That's usually what I do. Follow up with everybody from yesterday. Message every single new follower. If you do those things every single day, I promise you, you will grow your business every single month, month after month. But only with the skills of talking to a specific person who has a specific problem with a specific process. Something that you bring to the table that no one else has. This is like your positioning piece that makes them say, oh, she's not a solution, she's the solution. Like, there's nobody talking about it like this. That's what makes people buy. And if you want to have one-on-one support, the best community of spiritual woo-woo entrepreneurs with conscious systems and education, have a done-for-you school setup to amplify your success, seasonal retreats to unwind, network, and learn, then that's exactly what we have inside the attraction formula. And we would love to have you. I'll put the application to that right under this. Because like I said, the biggest risk or cost of being an entrepreneur, it's not the investments you make in mentors and your business. It's the ignorance tax. It's you don't know what you don't know. And that there are people who are already a few steps ahead of you where you want to be that can get you those belief systems and skills faster so you can stop wasting time like throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks. And a lot of people can do this by themselves, like you're smart, you're capable, you're talented. I know that you are. It's just a matter of time. This is a really cool method called the scholarship method for filling up your programs faster by giving back to the community. So I put a link here to a Google Doc that outlines this strategy. I'll just show it to you. So this makes it, if you want to make it ultra easy, free is about as easy as it gets. So make the first amount of people free. So if you've never done this before, like if you've never had an online course or offer, or you don't have a program yet, then you could help a few people for free. I don't necessarily recommend it because you deserve to be paid for your gifts, and it's very difficult to grow your business and support yourself if you're doing everything for free. But if you don't have any experience in what you're doing, and this is a whole new ballgame for you, then we either need to start with free or low ticket. If we have no experience in it, but I don't think that's you. You do have experience in what you do. You've been doing it for many years. You're just not able to scale and expand it in a way that feels really good to you. So in your case, I would not recommend doing it for free, but you can make a certain number of spots in your online program 100% free and create a very simple application, which again, there's notes here on how to do this. Like what questions to ask on the application, but basically you say, like, on a scale of I would like to get it for free, but I do have financial resources, to I'm struggling to put food on the table, where would you rank yourself? That can really help you. This could really help you. You're giving away something that's valuable to people who really need it, while also you're getting other people to apply for the program and sell you on why they would be a good fit. Boom. So just a few tips to end our time here together today. So the best practices for generating leads is having a cohesive brand identity. Like I said, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And if they go on Instagram versus TikTok versus Skool, everything looks different. There's no cohesive identity. That's one of the worst things that you can do. They study this with ads. Like, if your content all looks one way and then you send them to a landing page or a lead magnet that looks completely different, they think they clicked the wrong thing. They're not sure where they are, so then they just click off. So we need a cohesive brand identity. Like I've said before, 82% of businesses go out of business in the first 5 years due to lack of capital. Your marketing and your branding is your top of funnel way that moves people into your business. The better your marketing, the better your branding, the less energetic exchange has to go into your business. If you have no marketing and branding, then you're still trading your time for money. That's not what we're doing here. If we're trading our time for money, our income is always going to be capped because we're basing it on a limited resource, which is our time. And that's not what we're here to do. We're here to leverage your expertise, your experience in a way that empowers other people, that moves your mission forward, and that leaves you feeling really good about the way that you pour into your business and into your clients. We need money in the hands of people who are going to do good with it. You also using search engine optimization. So when you make a post, doing some keyword research before, finding out what are the terms that people are looking for and incorporating those into our content. You could use them in your caption, in your hashtags, in the title. It's say the term multiple times. So if I want to rank for spiritual entrepreneurship, I'm going to make the title something that includes spiritual entrepreneurship. I'm going to say it aloud in my video. I'm going to put it in my description or my caption, and I'm going to use those hashtags. Search for what other creators are posting in your niche, people who are doing what you want to do. What hashtags are they using? What kind of content are they creating? How are they pulling people in? What are their best performing posts? What are they talking about? Tracking your analytics. So tracking what pieces of content bring in the leads. How good are we at converting those leads into sales? Do we have a leads problem or a sales problem? Like, are a lot of people interested in working with us, but we're not converting any of them? We have a sales problem. If nobody's engaging from our content, from our outreach, from our DMs, we have a leads problem. It's important to know which problem we're solving. And then yes, having a behind the scenes sales strategy. So like I've said multiple times here today, like, we need a simple marketing funnel that takes attention from social media and converts them into clients. You could have the best content in the world. You could have 50,000 followers, but if you don't have a way to convert those followers into clients, you're chasing the wrong thing. You're solving the wrong problem. People are just like so obsessed with followers. It's like, yeah, that's a nice to have, but that is by no means indicative of your sales. No means. I know people with 500 followers who've grown $100,000 businesses. They're not related. And then here's a warm outreach script for you that I said that I would include. So this will be in the links below. I'll just show you here. That's how to go through it all. And yeah, just really understanding like what sets you apart. How are you different? Like, can you incorporate the differences in your approach? Or like if you know that your ideal clients have tried other things before that haven't worked, then mentioning that in your content and in your messaging, like, hey, I know you've worked with other marketing coaches or business coaches in the past that just left you feeling icky. They didn't understand your vision. They didn't operate by the same values. And you're kind of just turned off by all these coaches flashing their Stripe balances and the Rolex and the cars. Saying that in my content, people are gonna be like, oh my God, how does she know? How does she know? Done my research. I've been where you are. And if you have not yet booked your one-to-one marketing strategy session, the link is here. Again, it'll be below the video. I would love to talk with you, connect with you, and give you your own magnetic marketing strategy and roadmap to attract and convert more leads into your business without feeling icky, without feeling pushy, and in a way that feels really authentic and aligned for you as a conscious spiritual entrepreneur. I will see you in the next one. Mwah!